then guys, it's Dave from Talking Wolves. Welcome back to another match review, and it's a little bit of a disappointing one today. Wolves have unfortunately lost out 2-0 to Arsenal. It was a game probably, I think a lot of fans felt we should have, we needed to win ahead of the game if we wanted to sort of push towards the Champions League place. But today, I've got to say, it's one of our poorest performances of the season. We've lost out today at Molineux, 2-0 to Arsenal. I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the game. As always, if you could let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, that's always great as well. But one change for Wolves today. We stuck with the 3-5-2. Then Donkey keeping his place, but Diogo Jota dropped out for Adama Traore today, which I did suggest on the match preview, actually. I thought with how well Adama had sort of come on and done against Aston Villa up front. I thought sort of mentally he sort of looks like he's matured a lot this season. We've not really tried him up there, so I thought definitely worth having and giving it another go potentially. That's what Nuno went with, and we started off the game very, I think very Wolves-like, especially over the last sort of 3 games in the restart. I think the first 45 minutes or so, Wolves have sort of shown that they like to suss out the opponent. They like to sort of see and give Nuno a chance to see what we can learn from and exploit possibly into the second half. But although that was the case, we still seemed very sloppy. We still seemed like very, one-dimensional and in the first gear. And just nothing seemed to stick. Everything we tried just didn't quite work out. Of course, we had the chance right at the start of the game, sort of first 15-20 seconds. Ball came over the top by Jimenez, and Adama tried that little dink over Emi Martinez. That didn't quite come to fruition. But in the first half, we didn't really have much to look at, and it was a very boring game for a Wolves fan, I'd assume, and a very boring game for a neutral as well. Obviously, Arsenal did get their goal eventually. It was our first defensive mistake of the game, I felt, with a ball over the across the pitch, get my words out, and Willy Bolly completely missed it. Obviously, a little bit of room on the left-hand side. Cross did come in, deflected, and to be fair to Saka, it's a nice finish into the back of the net. Very difficult for the goalkeeper to save it, especially when he's sort of rooted in the middle of the goal. And it's disappointing for us to concede right on the edge of half-time like that. I think, obviously, if we went into half-time 0-0, we could have frustrated Arsenal for the next 10-15 minutes of the second half. But obviously, Nuno sort of had to rip up his half-time team talk and go again. And second half, we came in. I'm quite surprised that there wasn't a switch earlier, like maybe at half-time or very early in the second half. It did take sort of 10 minutes or so for Nuno to bring off Dendoncker and bring on Diogo Jota. But that is something I expected possibly in the at half-time. Second half, we seemed to get out of first gear a little bit more, especially for sort of the 10-15 minute period after Jota came on. We had a couple of opportunities again, moving the ball a little bit quicker. Dharma having that chance again when he sort of tried to loop it over Emi Martinez. I think Martinez did really well to come out quite quickly for that. But nothing again. The whole second half was disappointing. It was so unlike Wolves, to be honest, today. And like I said earlier, just very one-dimensional. We didn't really have an outlet today. I was pretty disappointed in most players' performance. It wasn't really a standout for me out there that I thought, you know what, he's had a good game. Obviously, Arsenal went and got their second goal then towards the end of the game. Again, quite an annoying goal to give away. I think obviously Sace did what he could to sort of shepherd out the guy on the left-hand side. Didn't quite work out. And Lacazette with a powerful touch caught Cody flat-footed and fires it across Patricione into the back of the net. That's what you get in the Premier League. We didn't look dreadful defensively, but we gave them a couple of chances. And a team like Arsenal, whether you like them or not, they're going to put them in the back of the net. They've got players like Aubameyang and Nketiah would have probably done the same. Aubameyang and obviously Saka did as well. So pretty disappointing with that. Adama was poor for me. I don't like to single out players. You guys that watch the channel know I'm fairly positive even when we get the defeats. But today it was a bit of a bitter pill to swallow because it wasn't a Nuno type Wolves performance today. And one of the worst I have seen all season, I've got to be honest. Just silly mistakes every now and then. I thought Dharma was very sloppy. I think he just held onto the ball a little bit too long sometimes. I think we all know how powerful and how good a runner he is on the ball, but just sometimes a touch too many and probably should have released maybe Doc or Jimenez a bit earlier. Same with Jimenez. I felt he was ineffective. Doc pretty poor down the right-hand side as well. Neves and Martinho just seemed a little bit too slow. There was no... I'd hate to single out the plays, but just as a team today, there was no urgency on the ball. And I think it shocked us because we've played against West Ham, Villa and Bournemouth, who were teams down there and struggling. And sort of they tried to absorb the pressure. Unfortunately for Wolves, they cracked and we managed to get the goals and get the wins, which was great for us. But Arsenal are one of the teams that are up there, and we know they can. You know, they're a European team as well. A top 6 team probably, you would argue, still. And... you could tell the pressure, and they were putting such intense pressure on Wolves. We just almost didn't know how to cope with it. And that was a real shame today, that we couldn't really create anything of serious note. The long throws, I was praying they were going to work. I do like a long throw, but unfortunately Doc couldn't get it past the first man with those. I'm not too sure what we were thinking on that. Obviously, at times Arsenal can be a bit shaky on the set pieces, but when you haven't got someone like Ryan Bennett, or, you know, we haven't got, you know, the 2020 Rory Delap that can get it onto the penalty spot, there's no real point in those. I know we tried a couple of fake ones where we play it short, but yeah, pretty disappointed today. No real outlet for Wolves, and unfortunately it's a defeat. I wouldn't give up just yet on the Champions League dream. I know a lot of people are writing it off with results that have gone against us today, but all it takes is for us to win next week and the teams that have won today to drop points, and, you know, we're back square again. So yeah, we've still got a decent cushion. I think those first 3 games since the restart that we've won has given us that little bit of a cushion ahead of the teams below us. So we've just got to make sure we learn from these mistakes and we can get wins against the teams like Sheffield United and Everton coming up. So definitely, you know, a poor performance that we're going to try and move past on as soon as we can. But we're Wolves. We know what Wolves are capable of. They never cease to amaze us. And I'm hoping that, you know, come Wednesday, this will be a very happy Dave rather than a little bit of an annoyed one. And hopefully that doesn't dampen your guys' weekends too much. Congratulations to Arsenal. Obviously, they got the 3 points today. I think they just had to do what they do. They didn't. Again, Arsenal didn't really have to get out of first gear. I don't think they were particularly great, but neither were Wolves. We were just worse than Arsenal today. So they've got the 3 points. Best of luck to them, obviously, for the rest of the season. But yeah, Wolves really, if we still do have Europa League and Champions League in sight, so we really need to sort of improve on that over the next week or so. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until next time, I'll see you all very soon.